The Vancouver Canucks' defeat in the final game of the Stanley Cup on June 15th resulted in another riot in the city's downtown core. One of the looters' targets was retail landmark the Hudson's Bay Company on Granville Street. Joseph DeAngelis, VP and General Manager, BC Region for First On-Site Restoration, was on the phone immediately to his client and had people at the store by 4 a.m.
I think most of our folks were watching the hockey game, and they knew that the disappointment of the loss was going to result in something. I think about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, we started seeing the blackberries start buzzing around, and then our construction people immediately got the call. Well, the first priority was security. The windows are all broken out. It looks like the looters got inside, and our first priority was to secure the perimeter, which means plywood up the outside. But the big thing is what's going on in the inside. There was water damage, very evident to us, because the fire system was enacted, and then it looks like the looters also set off fire extinguishers as well. And it affected. If you imagine, if you're walking by a retail store, the windows are broken out. They've gone into the windows, into the environment, and then you get water damage. And the next thing is, okay, what's next? Is there a fire going on? Is there anything else inside? Is there any asbestos or any kind of harmful effect on safety? So our first concern was, do we need hazmat or not? And we have to do a quick assessment because WorkSafe BC is a really strong set of standards for us to determine whether we need to protect our employees before they go into the premise. And then after that, we send our content people in there. Pretty important for a large company like the Bay, so we have our content people there on site.
Having seen this type of situation before, we asked Joseph if he was surprised by the damage.
Personally, no. Having seen, through my years of living in here, and seeing sporting events, there's always, the looting that goes on. It could be a broken window, and that's all it is, But I was not surprised personally, but corporately, I was somewhat surprised that the penetration within the building was as deep as we saw. We're prepared for it, but I personally didn't think that it would be that drastic. I thought the police would be a little bit more on board, but they did the best they could, given the circumstances.